Well, we did have more big news because this happened.
Oh, yay, Robert Downey Jr. Let's talk about his ego.
Yeah. So, in case you missed it, which I doubt anyone in this chat has, they did a casting announcement that took like 5 hours or more or something like that, and it was just revealing chairs with names on it.
How
And
pretentious.
yeah. Well, there's something to it because I think I read somewhere that like 250 million times it's been viewed across all platforms. So
Why?
I know
275.
it's in stark contrast though to like how many people actually watched it, and then what seems like how many people are actually excited about it, because I think nostalgia fatigue is starting to set in. I made a video when I first started my channel saying, will you please just let Patrick Stewart die? Because he really just leave this man alone. But goddamn, he's back. A lot of the original X-Men cast are back. A lot of the faces you expect to actually be in the movie are being confirmed to be in it, and a few faces are missing. But I assume they're either going to be. They said they're not done announcing all the cast yet.
Which is insane.
Right.
It is insane that they are not done announcing the cast. Can you see how many chairs they've got? They go off over the fucking horizon. There's too many people in the movie. How can you do a movie with 1,000 stars in it?
It's 2 movies, isn't it? It's one and this is 1 and 2, isn't it?
Lord of the Rings didn't have this big of a cast.
No. But the thing is, though, what really pisses me off about this, what it is that they got that guy playing Shang-Chi in this movie. And Shang-Chi was absolute bollocks, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he's not even the least recognizable character. I mean, you've got people like Ghost coming from the second Ant-Man movie that everyone forgets exists.
Who gives a
Have they spoiled the Thunderbolts? Because they've got everyone from the Thunderbolts except for Taskmaster.
So that probably means that's the only one who'll die, right? Is Taskmaster, everybody else survives.
Sentry's here, so Sentry doesn't die.
It's really crazy, isn't it? There's so many people in this film, and it's going to be shit. Everybody knows it's going to be shit.
Back?
Yes,
Loki's back as well. Like basically, it's everyone from anything that Marvel has done over the last 5 years. And because everybody hates most of what Marvel has done over the last 5 years, they've also brought back a bunch of 80-year-old men who did good X-Men films in the 1990s, just to give the movie a little bit of extra pizzazz, because we can't be expected to get excited when we see that Joaquin Torres is coming back for this movie. Most people's response is, wait, who?
Yeah.
Isn't it two?
Are they going to de-age him?
Hasn't Wanda killed Patrick Stewart already?
No, that was in another universe.
An alternate one.
Yes,
it was a different one.
Yes.
So he's going to die again.
Can't wait to see M'Baku. M'Baku's going to be there. Can't wait to see that character.
Patrick Stewart, right? When they bring him back, all he's going to be is in the chair anyway. So he's not going to be like moving around or anything like that because he's so old. And they're going to de-age him. They're going to fix his voice, and then that'll be that.
I don't even know if they'll bother doing that because they haven't done it with anything he's been in recently. He's always sounded like his vocal cords have given up.
Yeah.
He is too old for this at this point.
Yes. But I reckon Marvel's going to do it. They're going to de-age him. Same thing with the guy who played Magneto. I can't remember his name now.
Ian McKellen, yeah. But it's interesting as well, because then you get into the difficult questions of, okay, so which timeline exactly have they come from? Because we already did resetting these X-Men. We did that in, is it Days of Future Past? Are we going from that storyline when a bunch of them are dead?
But it's
and then they created a different universe? Or is this a different universe where they didn't die?
It's connected to Fantastic Four. But it's connected to Fantastic Four because
they start filming like in a few days in April here, and they don't even have a script yet.
Yeah, it's due out this year, and they haven't finished the script yet.
They haven't even done the script now. And you got this cast, you got the Thunderbolts all there, and you're like, you haven't had that movie come out yet, and you're like, okay, I guess they all survive. Like that's you've taken away those stakes already. So it's
What's funny is that Channing Tatum was a terrible Gambit in the Deadpool movie who couldn't speak French properly, and now he's so is it the same Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine?
It is.
So that Gambit left that movie, is now joining the X-Men in this movie, and his audition tape was Deadpool saying to him, "Why can't you speak French properly?"
Hey, Kelsey Grammer, he's all hip with the kids. Like, he got him back for Beast.
It's just going to be his voice.
Completely, it'll be his voice. He'll be CG'd all the way. And
yeah.
It's just going to be his voice. And I hear that in Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic discovers the multi-universe. So that's how they get into this. So do you know what I mean? So that's
it's interesting because like we discussed this on EFAP on Saturday about where this story could possibly be going. And so obviously Loki is in this, but Loki, as of the end of Loki season 2, is the thing basically holding all of time together, right? So the only way he can possibly be in this movie is either as a kind of projection of himself or across all of time and space, in which case he can turn up wherever, or as the kind of MacGuffin thing that is under threat that they have to get to, which would be my guess, is that like Doctor Doom discovers that this is what it is. He goes to try and kill Loki so he can destroy the fucking universe or whatever.
That's
and
what's
they have
going
to try and
to
stop
happen
him.
because in the Secret Wars comic book, the 2015 one, Loki's just going to take the place of I can't remember his name, but there's a character that essentially is doing that. A Molecule Man, I believe. He's basically holding everything together. Dr. Doom discovers, whatever, like the multiverse. And he understands that like cataclysms are going to happen, so he creates Battle World, and that's where Secret Wars is going to pop in. So this is just the lead in to Secret Wars. All the characters from the multiverses are going to exist in their worlds, and at the end, Doctor Doom's going to bring them all together. And the only thing that's going to exist, like there will be no multiverse, only Battle World will exist. And that's like I said, Loki's going to take place of Molecule Man. So that's exactly like count it and a foul. That's what's going to happen.
It could be even lazier. It could just be he just shows up to Chris Hemsworth and goes, "I need your help," and there's no explanation.
But is Robert Downey Jr. going to have his face as Doctor Doom though? Are they going to put like makeup on him so you don't see Robbie Downey Jr.?
No, I mean, this has come up with like you don't cast Robert Downey Jr. if he's not going to show his face. Like he's
don't pay him
the mask is going to be coming off after 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about his ego. He's writing everything about Doom. He's taken over. He's doing the character. Oh yeah, he's doing costume design. He's writing what Dr. Doom should be doing. Oh yeah, that's been the Russos really are breaking. Bad. The Russos have been bragging about that. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. He's writing all the lines, writing everything.
What is he actually written that's good?
Robert Downey? Nothing. Well, technically he's really good at ad-libbing. So
the whole movie
be ad-lib.
just quips and shit.
Yeah.
The entire movie.
All these characters that they're bringing into the Secret Wars or Doomsday or all this, they're characters that no one gives a shit about.
Yes.
They're B and C level characters.
Yeah.
No one like who are you excited to see?
Well, that is why the hope is that lots of them are just there as cannon fodder so they can be killed. Because there's one way of very, very quickly establishing how big and bad your big bad guy is that you have him kill and beat a load of people you vaguely recognize, people at least that you're told are heroes. Think like Thanos' introduction in Infinity War when he beats the two so-called strongest Avengers in Hulk and in Thor. It's the first time we properly see him do anything. So you immediately know this is a guy to be reckoned with. This is probably wish thinking on my part, but it would be lovely if they are bringing back all these people from like Thunderbolts and Captain America 4 who everyone either doesn't know or doesn't like, and he just kills them to show how bad he is. Then I'll like him because he's destroyed lots of stupid characters.
I would love to believe that, but Marvel's really pushing Kamala Khan in the books. Like they're making her the messiah of the Uncanny X-Men now. Like they're pushing her to be the first mutant ever, and so she's not going to die. And all the Thunderbolts, if you go into comic shops, it's like they're pushing all these books, all these characters, Shang-Chi, everything. So I'd like to believe they would kill him off. That would be my wet dream. Like it'd be great, but that's not going to happen.
But isn't Monica Rambeau the key to everything? Because at the end of the Marvels, she shows up and meets the Beast from X-Men.
Yeah.
So is she gonna be one of the not revealed people? She's the linchpin.
Oh, and she gets this like heroic introduction, and the entire audience is just sitting there confused.
Who the fuck is she?
Yep.
But it's true though, because how long ago was the Endgame, and how long ago was the first Avengers movie?
Yeah,
and how old are the kids
right?
that watch that? How old are they now? And are they still interested? Kids who haven't seen them originally.
Drawing in all the X-Men from the Fox era is clearly a sign that they're trying to draw in us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so interesting that the primary Avengers, like, juxtapose this with the other Avengers movies where we were really excited to see these characters we watched in their own movies come together. And now what it is it's obligatory that you actually have to take the current Avengers like Shang-Chi and Captain Marvel and all this shit and put them together, because we don't care about those characters at all. We do not like them. So they bring in all these other people to draw in the core audience, which is people our age.
I mean, it is an admission of the most staggering failure is that you've had since Endgame in 2019, you've had basically 500 movies, and none of the characters you've introduced, none of the characters you call Captain America or Captain Marvel have enough to sustain their own movie or anchor an Avengers film. That's why they have to go back to the 90s to find people who are popular. Because they've done nothing. They've completely failed to recapture anything that they used to have, and so that they have to have this support.
The whole reason, like, we watched Endgame is because they all linked together. They had a story Bible. Like, what's linking any of these characters to what they're putting out? Nothing.
Well,
You're
that's
just
the other. Yeah, it's another interesting point, right? None of these we've not met the villain yet. None of the characters have an established relationship with the villain yet. Fantastic Four might change it, but given he's probably only appearing in like a post-credit scene, I would be surprised if there's a huge amount about him in that film. None of these characters know each other either. So what are they going to speak to each other about? You don't get any of the relationships that you had throughout phases 1 through 3. You know, Tony and Steve's
Captain
rivalry,
America.
which then forms like a conflict of vision. So there's always a conversation to be had and a rivalry and a kind of mutual respect that grows. They have a relationship from the beginning. There's no established relationships with anyone in this movie. So everything has to start from scratch, which will be incredibly difficult to do when you have 1,000 people to introduce. How do you do that?
I think what they're going to do is the Infinity War style, where they broke off a bunch of people into groups and we just followed each group and we bounced back and forth. That's probably like what their plan is. So you're going to follow the X-Men, you're going to follow the Fantastic Four, and you're going to follow the Temu Avengers around. and then they'll, mash together at the end, I imagine.
It is kind of what they did with Infinity War, right? In the sense that they sort of pick groups to give most of the screen time to. Not everybody has equal screen time, but they identify the characters and the combinations of characters whose storylines we see the film through. So you get Thor and the Guardians on the one hand, you've got Tony and the rest on the other hand, going down to Titan, and then so they have a record of being able to pull this kind of thing off. But even that, I'd say, is on a smaller scale than what this movie's setting out to be.
Totally,
that was culmination of a story as opposed to beginning of a story, and it didn't have as many people in it, for one thing.
It is in fact Temu. I was corrected by Temu once that it is actually Temu, not Timu.
Well, fuck it, they're Chinese. It's Timu. It's Peking, not Beijing, while we're at it as well.
The way they advertised this though was weird by putting one chair out for an hour or some nonsense like that. It was just silly.
Yep. It was a really weird marketing strategy, which is like get excited about names on the back of chairs, empty chairs.
I don't know who does the marketing for Disney right now, but you need to fire him. You need to fire all of them, because it's everything they're doing. Even DC, that Superman, it just, when you watch that, the editing for that, it's just like, you need to fire these people because it just falls flat.
Well, how much do you think it'll cost just for the cast? Because Robbie Downey Jr. is like 90 million alone.
It's so crazy. This movie, I would assume they're going to spend well over $1 billion to produce these two films.
Do you think they're expecting profit, or do you think they go, this is just a necessary cost we have to do to reset everything?
No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck about Fantastic Four. No one's going to watch that movie.
Yeah,
you got
that's going to
Sue
be an
Storm.
interesting thing.
You got Sue Storm. That's the lead of that movie, and everyone's going to be like, "No, thanks." And that's going to set up a massive failure for the MCU going forward. I think people are just done with the MCU in general. And then when you introduce this cast, it's just.
I don't think people are done with the MCU because look at Deadpool and Wolverine, that made like 1.3 billion on its own. So that's probably what they looked at, and they were like, okay, well, we can probably make more than that if just bringing Hugh Jackman back did it. The thing is with that movie, though, it was actually well received, so that helped it leg out, and that helped it make 1.3 billion. These do have to be really good, and I don't know how they can, because it's just the ultimate nostalgia machine.
But look at the marketing. Look at the marketing for Deadpool Wolverine. Like, you had Ryan Reynolds doing what he does. He does that in every freaking film. He's just doing Deadpool, and then you add Hugh Jackman, which is a nostalgia bait, because everyone loves Hugh Jackman coming off of Logan, who he said he's never going to do Wolverine again. And then he comes back, and they riff off each other, and people are just like, awesome.
Yeah, it was almost it doesn't. You're right. I mean, it's not really a Marvel film. It's a film about Marvel. What some of the most successful jokes in that film are taking the piss out of the thing that Avengers Doomsday is trying to be. And to be fair, I don't even know how well Deadpool Wolverine has held up over time. It did incredibly well at the box office. I wasn't particularly impressed by it. In fact, I go so far as to say I didn't really like it very much. Lots of people did, and that's fair enough. I think some of the jokes were very funny. I don't hear a number of people these days talking about how amazing that was. It was kind of a one-off. Isn't it funny we get to all take the piss out of how bad the thing we used to like has become? You can't do that in Avengers Doomsday. It's a very, very different proposition. One of those things is meta and one of them is not. And I do wonder whether like another Deadpool Wolverine even would do as well as that movie did, because it's kind of tried and tested and played out at this point. Doomsday is like kind of the last gasp. Unless this does somehow manage to recapture everyone's interest, and as they said they're going to do, make it a beginning story that everyone gets invested in again, it's fucked. There's not really any coming back. This is it. This is the last gasp. It's why they're spending so much money. It's why they've got all these people, all the big name actors coming back. If it doesn't work, it's over.
Yeah, I agree.
And this comes out this year.
Yeah, I mean, somehow, I don't understand how, if they haven't got a script and they haven't even started filming, I don't understand how it can come out.
They don't even have their cast. They don't even have their cast yet.
Is it going to be like no CGI? We're just going to watch them like do the hand poses and nothing happens.
Is it? Do you think, right, Little Platoon? Do you reckon it's because do they uphold to the turn of the tax year thing, where they have to get something out before the turn of the tax year? Do you think that's why they haven't got a script and that's why they're rushing it?
I don't think so. Just because they're not strapped for movies to release. I mean, they didn't release many last year. There are more Marvel movies releasing this year, and that we just had one. We've got the Thunderbolts, we've got and Fantastic Four all coming out this same year. I don't think they're particularly pressed to do that. I think that this is kind of a panicky last-minute rearrangement, because this was supposed to be where the Kang movie was going to be. And they realize that, they are currently spiraling toward nothing with all of these diminishing returns. It is time for a complete reset. We have to do it as quickly as possible if we're to salvage anything from this project. So I think they're probably more concerned about letting it die so it's unsalvageable. That's why they're rushing it.
Well, yeah, why rush it, though? If that's the case, then why don't they take their time and make sure they've got a solid script before they start casting?
Well, because Star Wars sucks. They only have one franchise, which is the MCU. Star Wars offers no money.
They call it the Marvel way.
It's stupid, though, isn't it? It's really, it's if you're going to be shooting and writing at the same time, it's going to be ridiculous. There's going to be no structure. There's going to be no payoff. It's crazy,
and it's going to be fun.
Well, you're taking the biggest villain in MCU history, Marvel history, excuse me, because he hasn't been in the MCU yet, and where you took Thanos and peppered him throughout all of Phase 1, 2 until you got to the end of 3. They're just immediately diving right in with him and need to make him the biggest villain in all of the MCU so far, and they're going to do it in 2 movies.
And not only that, you're not even going to have that dynamic between him and Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Right. You have no Doctor Doom
Yeah,
lead build up at
you're right.
all.
Yeah.
Unless
Which is
somehow in
necessary.
Fantastic Four you find a way to have Reed Richards talk about him without him ever being on screen, that like mention him by remove is kind of the only way I can see them doing it. But they've got
He's gonna cook
Galactus to
him.
deal with, so
That's what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. He stole Sue Storm from him.
Yeah.
He's just a
Well-
big cook, and then he put on a big night clothes. That's it. He wears the night mask because he's a simp.
oh, just because there is a correction in chat. I think this movie is it May next year. I thought it was this year. I'm probably completely wrong about
Yeah,
that.
it
Yeah,
is.
this
It's
is
Numbers.
2020.
May next year. Okay,
Yeah.
it's still
That's
not a huge
fast.
amount of time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
to go
really fast.
from writing your entire script to filming it to releasing it within little more than 12 months.
A movie this effects heavy. Can you all the complaints about the effects houses being overworked over the last few years, and they're like, "Well, fuck you."
They'll just use like weaker concentration camps in China to do it all. That's what they'll do.
Well, they'll probably be using AI this time round to do a lot of the effects. That's probably what they'll do.
Oh,
To,
wow.
Does that even account for reshoots?
Right. What if they have to reshoot things?
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
they will.
It sounds like a really terrible plan. Before you start even casting people, before you even start getting a director, you should have a solid script. And then
You know, they
look
should
for the
do.
rent.
They should do The Last Samurai, where Doom is on a hill with the minigun and he's just mowing down the Avengers. It's like a super sad scene where Charles Xavier's chair gets stuck in the mud and he can't move, and he just shoots him like a dog.
I do have to get going.
Right,
It was
no worries.
awesome hanging out with you guys. Good times. Everyone take care.
Good
Right.
to
thank
see you.
guys.
Do you want to
thanks
tell us
for
before you head
being
off
here,
what's coming up for you, where we can find you, what we should look out for?
You can catch me at Diabolical Souls Presents. I will be doing Solo Leveling episodes 3 and 4 tomorrow night. And if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's one of the best anime.
What do you think of the main character in that show?
It's phenomenal. I love it. I love the character
What do
development.
you think of him, though? Do you think he's a bit of an asshole?
Yes, but I love it. So-
For those of you who don't know, what he does is people are getting murdered, and he just stands there monologuing, going, "Oh, I should save them, but I don't want people to know my identity." And like people are being like brutally murdered, and he
it's
always
great.
does
It's great. It's great. It's great.
But he keeps doing it, even in the newest episode when everyone
Yeah.
knows who he is. He goes, "I should save that island full of people, but I want to spend time with my mother." He's just an asshole.
Wednesday, I don't know what I'm doing on Wednesday. I know Thursday, I am probably just going to do a birthday stream. It's my birthday on Thursday, so I'll probably do a birthday stream.
Happy
you
birthday
guys
in
know.
advance.
Birthday,
Yeah,
man.
if you guys are around, swing on by. And then, of course, Late Night with Gooch and Gang. Always a fun time on there. And yes, the chat, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys joining us and torturing me, making me go to these horrible movies and doing these things. But yeah, lots of fun. I'll be around. I'll be doing streams. I'm going to take off right now, but love hanging out with you guys. You guys take care. Have a great week. And Cynic, I'll see you in Vegas.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. We'll see you there.
Yes. All right. Take care, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.
And there were 4.
I'm gonna meet Gooch in
God
real
he's-
life. He's gonna be in
Let's slag
Vegas
him
at the
off.
same time I'm gonna be in Vegas, so
Ah.
might as well link up.
Let's call him
we'll
a
get a
prick,
picture
now he's
for
gone.
reality. Yeah, the bastard.
Oh god, Doomsday's going to be crap. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, it'd be fun though. It'd be like watching a car crash, and you know you can't stop it, so you might as well just enjoy it.
Yeah, you know how like before Deadpool and Wolverine came out, we kind of all agreed we're like, they're not gonna fuck this up. Like this will probably just be a well-received movie. And then it was. Well, I kind of have a bad feeling about Doomsday.
hmm
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're not going to pull this one off.
Well, they've
I don't
got a grand total of 2 more movies before it comes out, right? Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I think after Fantastic Four will be a good read on whether there's any
Agreed.
cause to be optimistic.
Yes.
Yeah,
And how can we forget the most important Marvel product of all is also coming out before then, which is Ironheart. That's coming out.
yes.
Is she? Have you noticed none of the Marvel TV shows, any of the actors are in this? Moon Knight,
Yeah.
Ironheart. It's like those things never existed.
And you wonder about that because another post-credit scene for the Marvels, right? Is Kamala Khan is creating the Young Avengers. She bumps into Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop, I think most of the Young Avengers are in that allegedly leaked concept art, which the Russos have said isn't real, but other people have said is real, obviously. So they're all in it. So it's either they haven't been announced yet, or they are rowing very quickly away from that idea because nobody watches their shows. Or they're in the sequel.
Warworld. Wiccan is it leading them?
Well, that'll be encouraging though, because then at least we get one movie where we just get a load of massacred children. That'll be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, you just see Kate Bishop. She's got one arm, and she goes, "Doom killed all of them."
I mean, I used to read Fantastic Four when I was younger, but it's hard for me to believe that someone like Doom, who isn't a superhuman, he's just a human, right?
No,
correct me if I'm wrong.
He has superpowers.
Does he? How?
Yeah.
How? What, through his suit?
Yeah, I don't remember specifically, to be honest with you.
just
I know
cover him
he's
up.
not just a guy.
Yeah, he's like a sorcerer. He can
Yeah, thank you. He's
also
like
a wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that because the comics I read.
He's like a mix of Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Strange.
Oh, so when did this happen? Because when I used to read it in the 70s, he was just a guy in a mask that was really vengeful. When did this happen?
I don't know. As long as I've known it, so like decades at this point. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did not know that.
Yep.
Interesting.
You stand corrected, sir.
I do. Sit corrected. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I look forward to seeing what they're going to do with Doom then.
And I'll just reiterate too, there is a really good comic book run of Fantastic Four out there that I hope they do follow, which was it seems like they may, and that was Jonathan Hickman's run in the 2010s. I think it came out around like 2012, maybe something like that. And that made me realize that Doom is the greatest villain in I want to say MCU every time I refer to Marvel. In Marvel, Doctor Doom is the greatest villain.
So that was the 2000s. You see, I used to read it when Kirby used to draw.
Yeah.
And so he was just an ordinary guy with a mask and very upset with Mr. Fantastic. That's all I remember. I don't remember him being a wizard.
Do you think the big twist will be that he's not a doctor?
Yeah, it's just called Doom.
Mr. Doom, actually.
Mr. Doom. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Doom uses magic and his suit's like Iron Man's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know his suit's like Iron Man's, definitely, because that was in the Kirby run. But the wizard thing is a new one on me. So
I suppose the interesting question though, like if he is this good a villain, does that mean that potentially these two movies won't end him? As in, like, we'll see more of him after Secret Wars.
What are you gonna do though? Because you'd have to bring RDJ back every time at $100 million a pop.
Do we know how many movies he signed on for? Did he just sign on for these two?
90 million for two.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's a good job if you can get it.
Yeah.
Hell of a tax though. 90
yeah,
million.
when you live in California.
I'm sure he's like legally domiciled in the Cayman Islands or something like that. There'll be a way of avoiding it.
Yeah.
But the reason I ask is because, if he's so good, it seems almost like a waste to have the best villain in Marvel for just two movies, because by definition, then anything you do next is going to be a bit of a downgrade, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can just do what they did with Loki and just have like 500 Dooms, all variants. We got Midget Doom.
Midget Doom.
I'd said it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this movie, but I don't really hold any hope for it. It sounds like a nightmare to actually make. There's probably going to be too many bosses, too many cooks spoiling the pot, instead of just leaving it to.
I still think it's strange how Channing Tatum from Daredevil and Wolverine, where everyone made fun of the fact he couldn't speak French, got the role as Gambit seriously for this movie.
I think it was just because they misunderstood why that was popular. Because if he hadn't appeared in Deadpool and Wolverine, he wouldn't be in this movie. But he came and everyone was like, "Oh, we remember him fondly because it was funny." So they thought, well, he must be a popular character. It's like when they memed Morbius into the cinema twice. They've memed the character into a like $150 billion movie.
But
it's
Deadpool
crazy.
keeps saying, "Who the fuck is your linguist coach? Can he get your money back?"
Yeah.
It's like they didn't understand that we liked it because it was awful.
Do you think he will still have the bad French accent when no one can understand them? He's like Kenny.
So.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, he was originally supposed to play Gambit like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
In a spin-off movie, and that just never got off the ground. So it was like it was supposed to be cool to see him, a little Easter egg to see him actually playing the character. And then he was playing it like a corny fucking joke. And we were like, oh, well, we like it for that reason. And they just completely misinterpreted why we liked it.
Another thing, we said what before, that Wanda killed Patrick Stewart. That was a different Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Didn't all the X-Men die in Logan?
Yeah, but that's
they were
different.
All dead.
But isn't that different, or is that in the future?
That was after Days of Future Past. That was the new timeline.
Right,
and
gotcha. Yeah.
Logan's clone stabs him through the heart.
Do you think Patrick Stewart will die again?
Well, he might die in real life.
It's almost like Kenny in South Park at this point.
Oh my God, they killed Patrick.
You bastard.
Oh, no.
Oh, if he dies, that is definitely going in a video. That's got to be there.
Didn't he? He got resurrected.
He did, yeah. But they're gonna de-age him. I know they're gonna do it. It's gonna be stupid if they roll him out the way he is now. It's just not gonna work. How is it gonna work? His voice is awful. Did you not see him in a
bad.